What is up, guys? This is Logan, also known as LRXE on Pokemon Showdown, and we got ourselves some more SPL coverage. I'm narrating. BIHI and Conflict are battling. They're both doing okay. Let's do this. They're both great players. Conflict, GSC legend, also has watched my Battle Factory streams and loves to armchair me, but I listen to him because he's also a classic champion. And BIHI on the bottom had a better record than Conflict and Callus Invitational, 1-2 compared to 0-2, but that does not matter. As terms of team styles, before we start the battle, Conflict uses pretty bread and butter stuff. You're not going to see Conflict just throw out a Jinx for fun. Definitely going to be using a lot more of the standard Pokemon. Maybe that'll change this time. And BIHI, from what I could tell, recently has been liking some SD Pass stuff. They've used that previously in this tournament as well as in Callus Invitational. They brought a Cloyster team once. They seem to experiment a little bit more in terms of Pokemon, but if you're seeing BIHI run a Swampert, you're not going to see him running like Whirlpool Swampert or something like that. But I'm going to stop acting like I know enough. I know a lot about these players because, to be honest, I don't know that much. Let's play some Pokemon. Well, let's watch some Pokemon. BIHI on the bottom, Conflict on the top. Let's get it. Lead Milo. Okay, this is screaming Fizz offense, right? Lead Milotic is either you have such a defensive team that you don't have a better lead, but usually that would be Skarmory, or you're trying to lead with a Hypnosis Milotic that matches up very well versus Metagross, Tyranitar, Salamence, and you're just trying to disrupt them right away and throw out the Hypnosis. Another crazy thing, which would be insane if BIHI has this, is lead Mirror Coat Milotic, which would be so funny versus Zapdos. If Conflict has sub, they'll obviously click sub, but yeah, I'm expecting a physical offense or a really defensive team from BIHI, and lead Zapdos doesn't tell us much from Conflict, but let's see what's up. Into Registeel! Oh, dude, I'm excited already. Dude, we got some crazy-ass defensive team from BIHI. Oh my goodness. Okay, took a T-Wave. T-Wave turn one is fast. Well, T-Wave was probably to try to, but even then, if you're, I guess if you're expecting a physical offense team, T-Wave does disrupt a lot, but also maybe playing a little bit more aggressively with Thunderbolt couldn't have hurt, but, you know, you never know what was going to come out. In comes Registeel, though. Easily, this has to be some crazy sort of defensive squad. Registeel has been becoming more popular lately. Doesn't like taking a Thunderbolt. Zapdos is taking a T-Wave in return. Registeel's healing up. In comes Blissey. Yeah, look at this. BP into Doug. All right, let's see if this is a full-on anti-Blissey. Oh, it crits! It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be anti-Bliss when it just crits the Earthquake. That is not good for BIHI. I mean, Registeel does function as a good enough special wall, but now it's paralyzed. It's at 77% health. Conflict is clearly in the lead with a Zapdug-oriented team. In comes Skarm, as expected. Usually Registeel is paired with Skarmory. You usually run it as a second steal. In comes Spikes. In comes Claydol. Don't know if Conflict tried to pass there or not. Back into Registeel. On an HP Grass or Ice to scout it. We don't know which. More than likely HP Grass. Paralyzed. I don't know why my computer's loading slow, by the way. Please forgive that. Paralyzed. Seismic Toss. I mean, obviously this team is on the back foot versus the Zapdos already. It is paralyzed, which is nice, but there's not enough stuff that's happening in return. And the Registeel has Boom. Which is common on Registeel. You'll also sometimes see Counter. The last move probably was Counter. That's usually the way you run this. But on such a defensive team, yeah, that's so interesting, right? Well, that was huge. I mean, getting rid of that Zapdos is huge. But how is the rest of BIHI's team going to induce any sort of offensive pressure to beat whatever four Pokemon Conflict has in the back, which are likely other things that like Blissey being gone? Maybe Calm Mind Celebi, Calm Mind Rachi. Maybe it's like a crazy double. Maybe Conflict thought he was playing GSC, brought out the double electric team. Let's see. Bring out Exeggutor. Do it. Oh, well, yeah, here we go. We got some quirky special offense type of stuff with the Regice. This team sucks versus Regice when you don't have Blissey or Registeel. This is looking bad. Mirror Coat Milotic is not a thing. Don't even think about that, by the way. In comes Toxic. Toxic misses. BIHI just can't catch a break. There is anything but Conflict going on right now. Here comes the Thunderbolt, and it critical hits full para. No, okay, at least you got a Toxic off. But I mean, this is looking like, this is just looking mega over. Milotic's dead. In comes Doug Trio on the Thunderbolt. Okay, that was an interesting maneuver. So BIHI's trying to pull something out of his ass right now. I mean, like, interestingly, I think Conflict actually could have objectively clicked Ice Beam there. I wonder if Ice Beam did kill the 19 health Milotic. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, I mean, this is looking like a quick one. Here comes Milotic in on the Ice Beam. It did live Ice Beam. Okay, so yeah, you could have... You had to try to Thunderbolt to kill it, which makes sense. So BIHI is really just trying to maneuver around this and stall enough for Toxic to kill. But again, I just don't see what offensive enough stuff is going to happen, you know? Milotic dies. Man. I mean, this do nothing. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, what do you, I mean, like, maybe that was, there's a, oh, Rock Slide's the Regice. Regice is dead now to Toxic. But can a Skarm, a Claydol, and a Dugtrio do this? Probably not. This is locked into Slide now, so now this Dugtrio can Earthquake, which, yes, does allow Claydol or Skarmory to get in, unless it gets another flinch. Oh my gosh, don't do it. Ah, it missed. This is unfortunate. Earthquake's gonna kill it. In comes Skarm or Claydol. I guess you go Skarm just to try to set up spikes. Metagross is in. I mean, this is looking terrible. This is over. Might steal forfeit. Nope, HP. It's mixed gross as well. Yep, HP Fire. Roars it out. In comes Suicune. I mean, there's no way Skarm does this, but, you know, we're going to keep watching because, you know, I have to. I'm narrating. We got to keep watching this. Here comes a Toxic. Skips a turn. Oh, my gosh. I mean, what do you even say? Sometimes it just happens. They both already typed GG in the chat. Here comes Claydol. Claydol's going to try to get off an Earthquake. Conflict's going to click Boom. And look at that. Kind of perfect music for the ending. Feels like the end of a sitcom where everything just goes wrong for BIHI. Well, I mean, what do you even say? Guess we'll see you guys on the next narration. Rip Registeel. Ba-ba-bow, ba-bow, ba-bow. Ba-ba-ba-ba. All right, bye.